So, this is the first video of a brand new page for a brand new documentary that I'm working on. Right now, I am on the road to start this off. So this is the beginning of the documentary. I'll be trying to post every day that we're on the road. So first of all, to tell you a little bit about the documentary. Well, let's back up a little ways. So, I live in Pennsylvania, and my grandmother lives in California. For the past couple of years, my aunt has been living with my grandmother and taking care of her. Earlier this year, my aunt got sick and is no longer able to take care of my grandmother. So, my grandmother went and moved into a nursing home. My aunt moved in with her daughter, and now the house has been empty. So, of course, the house needs to be put up for sale, and the family now has a buyer for the house, but the house still is full of everything and needs to be cleaned out. So, my mother and my mom lives in North Carolina, and a couple of months ago we had talked about, well, when all of this calms down a little bit, we'll take a road trip out to California, clean up the house so that it can be sold. Well, of course, things have not calmed down a bit at all, but the work still needs to be done. So, we're making the most of it. We will be making the road trip out to take care of the house, but with a little bit of extra trouble along the way. Little added hurdles. We'll have to be, of course, wearing masks and keeping a distance and all of the things that responsible citizens should be doing. But the fun part is that we'll have a chance to have these couple of weeks together to see the country, do some sightseeing at a safe distance. But so many things in America are beautiful to see. They're outdoors, they're safe to visit if you do it responsibly. And while there is a risk, there's always a risk, in traveling, we plan to take the best precautions that we can to keep from contributing to the spread of the virus. So, more things about the documentary, about some of the things that we're going to be doing on the trip. So, since we're going from East Coast to West Coast and back, we plan to touch each ocean. We will be visiting states that we've never been to before. My mom has been to all 50 states except Minnesota and North Dakota, I believe. Maybe South Dakota? She might have missed that one too. But so we will be visiting those. I have not been to Alaska or Hawaii, but I have been to all of the continental U.S. except for 5 states in the southeast. So, on the way back, we'll touch through those. We'll be seeing, since we're going to be in Minnesota, and then coming back through the south, we'll be able to see the northern end of the Mississippi as well as the southern end of the Mississippi. And also along the way, we'll be able to visit some family members. My little sister lives in North Carolina. My older sister drives truck, so hopefully we'll catch her at the beginning of the trip, but if we don't catch her at the beginning of the trip, we'll catch her somewhere along the way. My older daughter lives in Iowa, and she just delivered my brand new baby grandson. He is a little over a week old, about a week and a half old, and so we're really excited to go and visit him, safely of course. And of course we'll be visiting my grandmother at the nursing home. I don't think we'll be able to see those, but even if we just get to wave at her through the window while talking on the phone, it'll be good. And her birthday is coming up, so it'll be a nice visit for her birthday. At my grandmother's house, when I was in middle school, a long time ago, back in the 90s, we buried our first time capsule there. And the first one we dug up after 20 years. And then we dug up another after a short time, and each time buried a new one. Well, it's a little early to be digging this one up, but since we're selling the house, there isn't really much choice. We need to go and dig up the time capsule. Now, unfortunately for you, we will not be opening the time capsule for the documentary. Just digging it up and hiding it away. Maybe we'll do a follow-up in a few years so that you all can see what's in the time capsule. I do have a file that has some photos that we put on a flash drive. So maybe I'll share a couple of the pictures that are on that flash drive that are in the time capsule. But everyone also wrote a note to themselves in the future. So yeah, so that won't be able to be shared until much later. I think we just buried that one 2 years ago, so it'll be another 8 before we'll open that up. Another thing to know about my grandma's property is a lot of family members have been cremated and their ashes scattered on the property. So it was always my plan to have that done, which now I won't be. But what I'm going to do is to gather jars of dirt from the property. So even though it might not be exactly everyone's ashes, it will represent the property and the loved ones' ashes that were scattered there, and a connection back to those generations and to that land. There's a lot more that we'll talk about throughout the that we'll see that I haven't mentioned. I mean, who knows what's going to happen on this trip? We know a lot of what to expect and a lot of what we're planning, but there's a lot of unexpected this year. So this is going to really be an interesting trip. It'll be an interesting documentary to have that done, and hopefully it's something that a lot of people can relate to, and that you can see yourself in us. Okay, so I guess that will wrap up my first video. Oh, and so I'm going to try to do a video each day of the trip. This is the first one, and right now it's just me. I am on my way from Pennsylvania to North Carolina to meet up with my mom there. So you will meet her in the next video, and then we will be traveling together. So, yes. Okay. So, thank you for being a part of this journey with us, and we will see you on the road. Hey, so we have started our second day a while ago of the road trip.
My first day.
Yes. So, all right, so I'm going to turn the camera around here. All right, there we go. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining me or watching this later. I am here with my mom, Beverly. Say hi. We have the car all packed and still not packed too bad, so we've got all of our supplies to be ready for just about anything. Yeah, so it's been pretty uneventful today. Just getting on the road. It's hot out, but the AC keeps it nice. Yeah, we got on the road about 10 a.m. It's about 2 right now, so making good time, just driving along through beautiful North Carolina. Look at that. Beautiful blue sky, the trees, open road. Alright, unless something interesting happens that I want to tell to you later, I will see you tomorrow.